Kenmore. Doors will open on the left.
We are in the midst of a 10-game heater of the 2025 Boston Red Sox, something I don't think anyone would have expected heading into this roller coaster of a season, especially how they were playing as of late. Now they're 8 games over 500. How are the vibes right now, Zach?
It's too much winning. I can't take it anymore. It's too much. Mr. President, it's enough. It's really is remarkable because obviously like you go into 2 series back to back against the Nationals and Rockies and you're like, all right, you should be 6-0 after that. It's something that we said 2 episodes ago now where like we should be talking on what would have been the 10th, so this past Thursday, about a six game winning streak, but it really just carried over into that Rays series. And to me, this was the most encouraging one of the bunch. Like, yeah, you beat the shit out of the Nationals and Rockies. Congratulations, you should. But it's about the way that they won these games against the Rays. You talk about Thursday where you're going into, was it the 7th inning? Down?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you're down 3-1 going into the 7th inning, and you just find a way to win. I forget the exact path that they took, but it was Marcelo Meyer double to score Trevor Story, and then get Romy to third, and then Cedon single, I think it was, that scored. Yep. Yeah, that scored Romy and Meyer. All of a sudden, you win 4-3, and then on Friday, obviously, you have the Cedon walk-off. It's just, this team, they find a way to do it every single night. It doesn't matter what the game is giving you. They're going to fight, and they're going to find a way to win, which is like always the earmark of a good team. We saw it earlier in the season. I mean, how many times on Thursday and Friday, how many times do we see them lose that game by 1 run? I mean,
so many times.
It feels like the corner has been turned here in the sense that they know how to win. Like, I think a lot of the beginning of the season was them learning how to win. And it's something that Lou and numerous other people talked about throughout this stretch about them being a young team, but you don't learn how to win in the minors. And even Will Middlebrooks told the story on air yesterday that the last game before the All-Star break, when he was in the minors, they used to just all use the same bat. And you had to swing at the first pitch. And that's just what they did for the entire game because winning wasn't really emphasized there. It's more just about developmental and like getting your way to the big leagues. So we're kind of seeing them learn how to win in real time. I mean, there's still games that are very winnable. The night game against Cincinnati 2 weeks ago now, or I guess a little under 2 weeks ago now, where it's a game that you should win, but you lose. But again, like, it's finding a way to get the job done in different ways. I mean, obviously we saw them put up 11, 10, 9, 10, 10 runs against the Rockies and Nationals, but then these close games, 1-0 on Saturday with Garrett Crochet on the mound, first complete game of his career. Again on Sunday, 4-1, Bayo spins a gem. So it's not just the hitting that's firing on all cylinders right now, it's the pitching too.
Yeah, and it's one of those cases where it's kind of unfortunate that the break is happening right now because if the Red Sox could go out there and play through this whole week, I think they would absolutely choose to do so. But yeah, like you said, I think the most impressive thing is they're winning games they would have lost earlier in this season. You can really feel them turning that corner. And, 10 games is 10 games, but it just goes to show you how fast a team season can change in a 162 game season, because like many others, I was pretty ready to pack it in a week or so ago. Like, the vibes could not have been lower. They were dropping series to the Angels. They were getting swept by the Angels, and it was just all embarrassing play. Then you really turn this corner. You're feeling good. I'm not fully ready to commit to a deep playoff run until I see how they play after the break. You are?
Yeah, I'm in. They've got me. And it's something I said on Red Sox Review the other day with Dan Ball. But it kind of just goes like, that's what makes baseball so fun. Like, it's such a grind. It's a 162 game season. And 2 weeks ago when you're on the plane, or I guess it would have been 3 weeks ago now, you're on the plane back from that long West Coast swing. You just traded Devers. The offense looks like they couldn't hit their way out of a wet paper bag. And all of a sudden they make one little adjustment to the hitting room and everything starts to click again. I mean, you could feel, like I said, 3 weeks ago, you could feel like the sky's falling. Why should I had a whole rant about how thank God for Love Island because this Red Sox team fucking sucks and I don't want to watch them. So it gives me a distraction. I mean, and it like pretty much completely 180'd after I said that. This season of Love Island sucked and the Red Sox started playing better. So I was dead wrong on that, and we're going to get into some stuff that we were also dead wrong about later when we revisit our predictions and see how they're doing so far. But and now, like I said, 3 weeks later, you're on top of the world. You're in a 10-game heater. You're only 3 games back of the division now. Yeah,
Yeah.
3 games back of the division, 1 game back of the top wild card spot. And it feels like a whole different team right now. Like if you had told me that when they traded Rafael Devers, we'd be looking at 53 and 45 at the end of the deadline, or at the end of the first half or unofficial first half, I would have called you crazy, especially if you then said, yeah, they're also on a 10-game heater.
Yeah, it's very impressive to see what this lineup is doing pretty much from top to bottom too. It's not just one guy who's coming through every night. And you got Yoshida back, you got Bregman back, both in these in this winning streak, and it doesn't even seem like they're pulling the freight offensively. It seems like you're getting contributions from everyone on any given night. And it's really cool to see that this lineup kind of instills fear in opposing pitchers now, pretty much 1 through 9. Like, looking at this lineup on a daily basis, there are a lot of times where I'm like, yeah, did we really need to lead off Nate Eaton, or did we really need to put, Romy Gonzalez in the 2 or 3 hole on a nightly basis? But, at this point, it's like everyone's hitting. So
Right.
I can't get upset with any lineup they're trotting out there right now. And I am curious to see how the break affects this, because do they just come out of the gates in the second half firing on all cylinders like we've seen, or do some people fall back down to earth a bit? I'm very interested to see how that plays out.
Yeah, it's kind of the big dogs now. I mean, you come out of the break, you see the Cubs, then you see the Phillies, then you see the Dodgers, and it doesn't lighten up after that either. You see the Astros twice. Let me pull up the full schedule. I know I went through it on the last episode, but this is really where the rubber hits the road. Dodgers, right. Twins, Astros, Royals, Padres, Astros. So you play some really good teams there up until the 15th, August 15th against the Marlins. So it's really like what do you think they can do in this? I mean, we're talking about playing the Twins, who are a team that are kind of like where you were like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, where you're not really sure what they're going to do. They're currently sitting 4 games out of a wild card spot right now. So you could fully push them into cellar territory.
Yeah.
Like, do you sweep the Twins in Minnesota to push them over the edge into cellars and then wind up with Joe Ryan, which I don't really think is a possibility, but at least not anymore. Like, that's something that could happen. I mean, you just have to take care of business against these teams. I know the Astros are way better than I thought they were going to be after trading Kyle Tucker, but they're 16 games over 500, 56 and 40 heading into the break. They have a pretty hefty lead over the Mariners, Rangers, etc. in the AL West. So it doesn't lighten up here. And I think at this point they're buyers. Everything today, Jeff Passan and Ken Rosenthal both said that they think the Red Sox are legitimate World Series contenders. And honestly, I think it kind of all starts with Roman Anthony, which is like bananas to say for a guy who's only played in, let's see, what is it now? He has 106 ABs. So how many games is that? I don't know. I have the stats pulled up to give the numbers since they got back from the West Coast, so I can't see exactly how many games he's played. But since they got back from that West Coast, it's 31. He's played in 31 games.
Okay, yeah.
He's hitting 371 with a 967 OPS over his last 16 games, with 1 home run, 7 doubles. He's an absolute monster. He's everything that we thought he was going to be, and then some. And he's still only 21 years old.
I think it was Romy Gonzalez, right, who said they are tremendously locked in.
Yeah, I think it was specific to him. Like, okay. They asked him how he was, or like how locked in he was feeling against left-handed pitchers, and he said tremendously locked in, and obviously it became the shirts, which are awesome too. Yeah, and another thing on the shirts, those were I think there were like 47 brand shirts. It must be awesome to just be like, oh hey, like our utility man, platoon first baseman, said he was tremendously locked in. Like, how quickly can we turn these into shirts? Oh, 2 days, sick.
Hey, those shirts are fire. I haven't
They
found
are.
one
They're
yet.
good shirts.
I'm gonna need one. I think that has to be like we had the damage done or do damage in the
Yeah,
2018 playoffs. It might have to be tremendously locked in if they
yeah,
make the playoffs and make a
sure.
run.
You'd have to imagine that they'll go on sale at some point. I mean,
Oh
obviously,
yeah,
it's pretty tough right now to like turn around shirts that quickly if it's not
right.
just in that small quantity. But yeah, great shirts, great heater, great winning streak, great team. I'll say it,
Oh
great team.
yeah. Yeah, it's awesome to enjoy watching the Boston Red Sox again. I think that's the bottom line here is it has just been really fun. And what's not so fun is maybe some of our preseason predictions, which have largely not come true. I don't know if did you have anything else before we dive into these?
Um, I feel like I did, but I can't think. Oh, well, I just kind of wanted to revisit. Well, this will segue well into my prediction for MVP of the
Okay.
season for the Red Sox. This is the type of run that it would take, and I feel like that's kind of where everyone was at. That it would take for you to start to believe in this team again after trading
Yeah.
Rafael Devers. I mean, they just as easily could have fallen off a cliff, and I think a lot of people were expecting them to. I mean,
Right.
that's a move that you make when you're selling. Like, it's as simple as that. You don't trade your best player for prospects and a reliever who's been like meh. But like, I mean, Hicks was essentially a salary dump in that. Like, you, in order for
Hmm.
them to take on all of Devers' contract, you had to take on Hicks's deal, which I'm fine with. But that's a move of selling. Like, that's the long and the short of it. There's not really anything else to it there. But for them to then go on this heater and figure things out, and like I said, it's not just that they're blowing teams out, it's that they're finding ways to win close games.
Yeah.
That's the most encouraging thing overall to me. Like, just the ability to dig down deep and find it somewhere to say, like, I'm not losing this game. And it's Rafael, it's the guys that are doing it too. That game on Thursday, for the all of the RBI in that game to come from Meyer, Rafael, and I think Anthony had one early. He had a single
Hmm.
in like the second or third inning that put them up 1-0. For
Right.
those guys to be the ones that are contributing in those key spots, in those spots to say, like, we're not losing this baseball game, is that means more to me than like any type of winning streak, or like they could have lost a game somewhere along the way. Like, the Yankees lost a game to the Rockies, the Astros lost a game to the Rockies. Like, these are major league teams. Like, they're gonna win games. I mean, they've both won games, the Nationals and Rockies, against teams they shouldn't have. But that ability to find it somewhere within you to win the game is so incredibly huge to me. Like, Christian Vasquez was a guy that, like, he's mostly not going to hit his body weight, but he just had the it factor. Like, Kike Hernandez is another one in the playoffs. The Lil Poppy 2021 playoff Linsanity run for Kike, that'll go down in infamy. It's that type of clutch gene that you really just can't teach, like, that these guys at such a young age. And I talked about it 10 minutes ago. At first, it didn't seem like they had it. They didn't know how to win because they were just focusing on developing and moving up the ladder and getting there. But I mean, I know Carabas tweeted it the other day, but where are all the fire core idiots now?
Yeah. Yeah. They have gone quiet. And the other interesting part of that is the return of the Devers trade has not factored into this winning
No,
streak
at all.
at all.
Yeah, literally at all.
It's cool to see other guys step up. And it really seemed like that was a turning point, like you said, in this season was would they sink or swim without their best player? Thus far, they've really turned it on after the fact. And I, I do question how long is this sustainable, but to me, I think I am pretty all in on this right now.